It's showtime.
Who are these socials?
Taking down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these socials?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Carl
This is all just for the radio.
and Blind Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these
We are
socials?
the number one podcast on the internet today.
W-A-T-S.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to learn the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? If you can find a show that knows more about social media, I'll watch Bert Kreischer's Netflix special. I'm your host, Carl Hamburger. With me, as always, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
I think I'm making podcast history today because I have to be the first person to ever fill in for someone on their show and then do a show with the guy he filled in for within a 5-hour span.
I'm on a semi-vacation in Florida right now. Some people are saying, I won't read your super chats. Those people are fucking with the wrong German. And you know what that leads to, historically speaking? I will read every super chat that comes in. I'll even interrupt my blind co-host in a very rude manner. And yes, you filled in for me on the Creep Off bonus show today with Cardiff Electric. Thank you for doing that.
I did. It was a delightful time. We had a lot of fun.
I don't know how is Cardiff on every show? I was just watching him on Opie. He was just on Opie's show.
It's
This
bizarre.
potato is everywhere. It's insane.
It's the only show he hasn't done actually is my show. Now that I think about it, I'm a little offended.
Oh, he's probably on it right now. You don't even know it. He's probably
Him and
running your
Craig.
show. Yes, I guarantee it. So let's do our banter that we do. You know, that's what people do. They like to banter before the show
Good,
starts.
yes. Very natural.
Like I'm in Florida right now. If you couldn't tell, you know, I'm in a big boomy Airbnb here. It's a little echoey. You ever been to Florida before?
I sure have, Carl. It's,
All right.
We're
Good
what part of Florida?
banter. Good banter. Good banter. All right. Let's
Hello,
get
man.
right into it. let's get right into it here. Look at this tweet now. We're going to start on Twitter and Brandon Walker. Do you want to set this one up, who Brandon Walker is and what we're about to see here?
I mean, to go way back for anyone that doesn't know, Brandon Walker's a guy. He worked for MyBookie and did some live stream that got I forget. There was some feud between Portnoy and MyBookie, and Brandon Walker handled it pretty well. So Portnoy just hired him.
Okay.
And he's been there. He's kind of become like a star in the Barstool world, I guess. And you know, one of their bigger guys, and one of their bigger sponsors is High Noon, the seltzer that I actually quite enjoy. I have no affiliation with Barstool anymore other than my appearances on the Kirk Minahan show. I don't work there, so I have no reason to say that, which means it's not very difficult to say, but for some, it can be, including high-ranking employees of the company, apparently.
All right. So this is a hot mic incident. Let's check this out. Let me make sure I got my volume up.
This is, by the way, just to give it a little more context, this is during their March Madness live stream. So it's not something that got caught on camera and leaked. It was live.
Yes, this is live. People are watching this. Everyone's watching basketball. And I do want to point this out. I said this to Mike before we started. I typically, because I'm running the show over here, Mike does almost nothing for this show. I do everything. And typically I have a lot of screens around me. I'm surrounded by screens in order to run the show. I'm on vacation, so I only have like 2 screens. So if anything fucks up, that's my excuse for it. All right. It's not because I've been drinking all day.
Carl was so excited to bitch about this that he bitched to me about it and was like, I'll probably say this on the show too.
I did. Good point. All right. Let's check this out.
Delicious.
Oh, so he just took a sip of his High Noon, put it down, says delicious, and then listen to what happens after that.
Delicious.
Thanks. Off camera? That's all.
No. Now, you're a marketing guy.
So
Carl.
he puts it down and says, that's awful. Yeah,
You're a marketing guy. Is that good when one of your biggest sponsors calls your new product awful on camera?
Well, what's hilarious about this is that he has totally Zoomocked his ability to promote any product in the future, right? Because no one's ever going to believe anything he says about anything now.
Yeah, well, but not only that, but he has completely lost one Dave Portnoy, who is typically a guy I have learned from experience. You don't really want to cross. He holds a grudge.
Yeah, I would not want to be on that guy's bad. I wouldn't want to be on bad terms
Right.
with Dave Portnoy, that's for sure.
Yay, super chats.
Brent Hatley's whore wife with $2. Why has Shuley not paid Ray DeVito? I don't know about that. That's a great question, though. Brent Hatley's whore wife, and thank you for asking it. Someone's got to ask those questions. It has to happen here.
He's a fucking Jew. What do you want?
So here's the thing. High noons are fucking awesome. And I believe the high noon that he was drinking there. Oh, yeah, they're delicious. And I believe what he was drinking there was the tequila lime high noon. And that is one of my favorites. So I will fight him. I will fight Brandon Walker. He's a retard for saying that sucks, because that's awesome.
That's the funniest part of this is that, like, everyone thinks he's wrong, too. It's not like, well, in fairness, it does suck. It's like, no, I like it.
Yeah, right. Thank you. It's not like he's doing a read for My Pillow or something. And it's just like, yeah, it actually sucks. And people are like, okay, I get it. But it's like, everyone's like, high noon. You don't like high noon? It's the most delicious alcoholic beverages out there right now. What do you even say?
And unfortunately for Brandon, not only is High Noon like one of Barstool's biggest sponsors, like they are all over everything.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah, they're just there's piles of High Noons everywhere. You would think that they were sneakers on Fighter and the Kid. There's so many High Noons around.
Yeah, but the other thing is, because it's such a big sponsor, High Noon is typically what they drink at these large events. So it's bound to come up once in a while. And then, as a matter of fact, it did a day later.
Here's the thing. Always assume your mic is on. And there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this type of scenario. Like, whenever I text someone, a friend of mine, or I send an email to anyone, just assume that it will be leaked to the world at all times. That's like,
if I'm in an Uber, I assume they're filming me.
Yes, correct. I've been looking at houses the last couple of days, and there are cameras in every house now.
Right.
Like, people just place cameras everywhere. It's just like,
that's why
act accordingly, all right? Don't jerk off in the bathroom. Yeah, don't jerk off in the bathroom or the pool or the hot tub. You can't jerk off on any of these things. Someone's watching. So this is Dave Portnoy's response. Well, I shouldn't say response.
Well, so I'll set this up a little bit. They're watching the games live, and I believe the young lady is Megan Making Money, who's one of the girls that does a lot of gambling for Barstool. Okay. And they're all watching the game, and she asks Brandon if he could hand her a beverage.
Okay.
Oh my God. Brandon.
You pulled it. Come on.
All right. So first off, I want to set this up if you're not watching it. They're watching the basketball game, and whatever just happened in the basketball game, Dave is not happy about. So his posture right now is like he's pissed, he's annoyed, he's sitting back, his arms behind his head.
He's losing money from every angle.
This happens.
No.
Yes. So now Brandon's just reached into the bucket of High Noons to grab one for that girl you were saying. And Portnoy looks over at him and just shakes his head and says, no.
No.
No,
Don't put your hands on it. Don't touch it. Doesn't matter. Don't touch it. I'm telling you, don't touch it. Just be quiet and sit down. Don't ever touch them.
This is dad energy. This is the kid is fucked up.
Yep.
And he's not listening. So
you've lost your high noon privilege, my son. There are no more high noon privileges for you.
Don't touch it. Don't even look at it.
Stop talking. Don't touch it.
It's all delicious, though. Thank you.
It's hilarious because he was just grabbing one for that girl.
Yeah.
And Dave wouldn't even let him grab one to hand it to her. And then now the other guy has to do it.
Well, what I love too is like Brandon is he's a wrestling fan and everything. His whole shtick is very pro wrestling. Like he'll start
Yes.
beefs with people that are completely fake and things like that. So he's like a wrestling guy. So his whole thing is like, well, I have to fight back. I can't be a pussy. I have to be like, what do you mean? I'm just handing her a drink. But he knows the exact reason he's not allowed to touch these.
Yeah. So now he's standing there. Dave Portnoy's looking at him, and this is so awkward. Hats off to the videographer, or whoever edited this video, because they zoom in on Brandon here standing and looking at Dave.
Don't ever touch them ever again.
He also said fade your picks.
Let's go. Wait, are you
He's the one who said fade.
because you're in a casino?
I gotta be 21 to get in here.
Yeah.
So he's trying to play it off. He's just standing there looking up at the game. And I love they're zooming in on him. This is so awkward because I was like, okay, now I have to sit back down, but I want to play it off like it's all good.
Yeah.
And he's just
Hey
standing
guys,
with his
nothing
hands in his
weird just
pockets.
happened here.
Yeah, his hands are in his pockets. He's looking up at the games. He's acting like, yeah, this is how I watch basketball. He sits back down for clapping his hands. What I love about this, Mike, is that I've been in this situation where something awkward happens and you're like caught like in a weird position. You're standing there like, oh, okay, now I got to act like I wanted to be standing up. And this is just
I've been in
normal.
this situation with Dave Portnoy. It's very scary.
I bet. The last thing I would want is someone filming me as I'm standing there awkwardly trying to act like, yep, no, this is cool. This is just normal. I'm fine. Everything's good here.
That was a moment where I was like, because I've been yelled at Dave before, and I'm like, why does he have to do that? And then as an outside observer, I'm like, oh, it is pretty fun to watch.
I don't think he puts up with bullshit, I think is the thing with Portnoy. He ain't got time for that. All right, so from Brandon, I want to transition to Brendan, which I'm still angry that both of those names exist. There shouldn't be a Julie and a Julia. There shouldn't be a Brendan and a Brandon. It's very, very confusing. But let's go over to Brandon. Yeah, now that makes sense. Let's go over to Brendan Schaub. And you were on with Royce recently.
Yes.
From Revenge of the Sis.
I do. I hop on Daywave from time to time. I haven't been on in a while, so I wanted to go on and see my old pal. And I presented him with an idea. I wanted to get him on my side for this. My idea is that we do. Hey, we're just two guys talking here. You know, if you know, you know. What I want is to do a complete heel turn on Brendan Schaub. I want to make the narrative that Brendan Schaub is the world's greatest comic. I want all the hate that he gets. Every person that hates him online, feel however you want about him, but I want to turn the insults to compliments.
By the way,
just see what happens.
What you're talking about literally happened on the O&A subreddit. The infamous Opie and Anthony subreddit, where everyone was piling on Opie for years. It was brutal. Right. I mean, to a point with it's not cool. Like fucking with his family, fucking with his life. And then all of a sudden, like someone was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny for all like, actually, Jim sucks, Anthony sucks, Opie's the good one. Right. And I think that a lot of people didn't realize that it was a goof at first or a bit at first. And so they're like, yeah, Opie is the cool. And they literally got the entire subreddit to flip on it. So I love this premise. I love this idea.
Well, it's like I just realized one day, like, because I fuck with Brendan Schaub all the time. And so the way I presented it to Royce was I was like, by the way, you caught some shrapnel in this, and I had to throw you under the bus. Because I told Royce, I was like, listen, you guys kind of create. You were the first that I heard shitting on Brendan Schaub, and a lot of people have copied you. And Royce goes, yeah, and that fucker Carl doesn't give me credit for starting Stuttering John either. And I was like, hey, he's dead to me.
I want to address that because our first Stuttering John episode was in 2018. This is over 5 years ago. It was when we goofed on Stuttering John, and somebody posted, like, I think Revenge of the Sis were talking about John before anyone, and fucking, I love Royce, but he's just like, yeah, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't even think that's true. I mean, maybe it is, but I doubt it. It's not like my whole gimmick is go ahead.
I listened to you guys, long before I was on the show, and I remember it going down more like Carl presented the idea. He's like, hey, I think we're going to make Stuttering John a common bit now. I want to overtake ROTC.
Yeah, right.
That's how I remember.
I'm like, hey, Hey, don't tell Mersh or Royce, but I'm going to start goofing on Stuttering John, and I want to own it. I want to be the one people think about when they're goofing on Stuttering John. Anyway.
Well, I'm Team Royce, but anyways, the point was.
I understand. All right. I see where your loyalties are. So Royce Lopez tweeted out, I think there is a @Brendan Schaub redemption arc coming. And then, put some hashtags in there and put your @BlindMike_ in there as well. Right. So he's
and then, by the way, side note, which isn't good for our cause, immediately got blocked by Brendan Schaub.
Oh, so he saw
I've
right
been tweeting
through
at him all week, but
all right. So what's happening with Brendan Schaub right now is that he had an employee who worked for him, Mark Harley.
Yes.
And Mark Harley has been fired, or he left the show. What's the background on that?
He was fired, at least by everything that I've seen. Like, Brendan referred to having to fire someone on his show several times.
Right. That's right.
And that seems to line up with when Mark Harley got fired.
Okay. So actually, let me play this first, because somebody put together an entire video compilation of this saga between him and Mark Harley. And this is Mark's
final thing I'll just repeat was I was in Vegas and I couldn't come in on Monday for the Schaub show. Now, the Schaub show is under the Thick Boy Network. I didn't know this at the time, but he had taken me off of the Thick Boy payroll, which is one of 3 sources that I get paid from. At the time when he reprimanded for me not being able to come in, I had called one of my coworkers and said, hey, could you cover the duties that I'm supposed to do in the room? They said yes. I did that ahead of time. I contacted Schaub ahead of time. And I still got reprimanded in a way where I felt like it was just a little bit like, hey, I didn't even take the week off after Christmas.
All right. So Mark's got some beef with working for Brendan Schaub.
So that's part of a 34-minute video of this guy going on every show that would have him just trashing Brendan Schaub completely.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
Not even part of my staunch Schaub defense. Like, this is just as an unbiased observer. It does seem like bullshit. The idea that he was late once or didn't reply to a text once, he got fired, that seems a little odd.
He's probably exaggerating, but it does sound like Brendan Schaub's shitty to work for.
I don't know. I think he seems like a pretty awesome guy, Carl.
Okay. All right. I forgot that we're doing this the heel turn thing. My bad.
The other thing, not on board yet. This was Royce's suggestion. I think we're going to do a show together where we watch You'd Be Surprised and give it a honey roast where we compliment all the bits.
Yeah. Hilarious premise. I love it. All right. So now Mark Harley is getting all this heat because he's out there blasting Brendan Schaub, and everyone loves blasting Brendan Schaub. So everyone's like, oh, this is great. He's talking about what an asshole he is. But you happen to find this this video of Mark Harley maybe.
Well, it was something a lot of
people
sent me because I presented this idea of defending Brendan Schaub, and people were like, well, how do you feel about this guy? And I said, au contraire, my friend. This is an enemy. This is good for Brendan Schaub. Brendan saw the monster that Mark Harley was and said, I don't need this guy under my employ. And then sure enough, this video comes out. I guess this is one of several videos with him and his wife. I think the others may have been deleted or they might have been live streams. But I guess this has been happening for a little while now.
Okay, so this is a video that came from Mark Harley's wife. And the text on the screen says, the claim he didn't abuse me. So how did I get a restraining order granted on Friday? How did I get the following photos or videos starting in 2015? She is saying he stayed with me for the green card. We've been married for 8 years and I got my green card and I haven't needed him for my immigration since April 2020. Not great with English, but whatever. I'm not here to judge that, obviously. So this is her in her car and she's trying to drive away, but Mark he's a big dude. He's physically lifting up, I believe, the back tires so she can't leave.
Big Gay Lion is his nickname on the internet.
Yeah, this is insane right here.
He's in front of my car. He's touching my car now. He's picking up my car.
picking up my car. As you can see, he's picking up my car. He doesn't let me go.
She's remaining fairly calm.
No, he hit it. He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck go. He doesn't let me go. He's attacking me.
That is interesting. She is staying calm, and it kind of reminds me of the Mel Gibson, right? Yeah, Mel Gibson. Where those leaked phone calls where his girlfriend's being real calm because she knows that she's recording this and that she's gonna put it out there, and she wants to look like the good guy. So that is interesting.
Well,
that's a good
interesting
point.
Comparison.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what happens here.
He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck go. He doesn't let me go. He's attacking me. He's attacking me.
He's being very aggressive. You can see him out the back window. Yeah, this is not good. Oh, now she looks very scared. Okay, now she looks legitimately freaked out about this.
Did this?
It's this guy's a madman.
He just smashed her side mirror. Yeah, he just OP'd the side mirror of her car right there. He seems a little unhinged. If I had to put a word on it, he seems a little crazy.
My main point is all the Mark Harley's going around town trying to slander my man Brendan Schaub. This guy has no credibility, folks. Never forget the look on that woman's face.
That's right. Brendan Schaub is an amazing employer and comedian. I just want to put it out there.
Yes. Well, here's how you get away with it, Carl.
And those 5 losses he had in the UFC, I want to go back and look at the judge cards on those.
Can I teach you a little something so you don't feel as phony? You don't say he's hilarious. You say he's as funny as he is intelligent. You know?
I think that's probably pretty accurate. I think that makes a lot of sense, yes.
It's a little work if you want to ease into it, I guess is what I'm saying.
So this is a story that we need to follow, I think, right?
It seems like it, because the other thing is I didn't realize how much shit this guy was talking. He's going everywhere saying all kinds of shit about Schaub.
Yes. Yeah, which is always fun.
So we will keep our ear to the ground.
I love that. All right, I want to switch gears with you, Mike.
Who are these losers using Reddit? What is it? Reddit!
Now, the reason why I played the Reddit jingle is because this is on Reddit, and because I don't have a Tourette's jingle that we can use yet. Someone's got to make a Tourette's jingle that we can use, because I want to give you a quick update on our girl, Sweet Anita. This is from JCOD01 in Discord. And this is Sweet Anita at the Streamer Awards. For some reason, they hired her to interview people, which they knew how this was going to go, obviously. Yes.
They knew what they were doing.
So this is her interviewing a YouTuber. And let's just say that it's tough to keep your Tourette's down.
Can I tell everyone what you smell like?
Yes, of course. Go for it.
I'm sorry, my Airbnb Wi-Fi is slowing up on us a little bit here. It is having a hard time. Let's try it again.
Dick. It's dick. He doesn't smell dick. It's dick. It's dick. It's not dick. It's You smell like a perfume. Do you know the name of the perfume you're wearing?
Giorgio Armani or something. I don't know.
Very classy. Very classy. And did you listen to any songs while you were getting ready today?
I listened to OMG by New Jeans so I can get more credit with the K-pop stands on Twitter.
What a bitch. I'm gonna f him. So basically.
This is outrageous.
Oh dear God.
So apparently there's a thing that's going on with our girl, Sweet Anita, that when she interacts with guys, she says things that guys think that she's hitting on them because she says,
crazy. What are the chances?
And, all these kinds of things. Well, wait, hold on a second, Mike. What side are you on here? Do you think this is all just for show?
What are the chances? Hey, what do I smell like? Hold on, I have to accidentally say dick over and over again.
Okay, so you're the one who's not buying this, is what you're telling me.
I'm the lone voice in the woods.
You're the only person who doesn't believe Sweet Anita's thing here. Okay, all right, fair enough.
I have my opinion, but if you had to rank Sweet Anita and Balin Dupree, what do you say?
Well, I'm a Balin guy.
Okay, all
day.
right.
You know
You're
that.
not totally insane then. All right.
I mean, listen, I love Sweet Anita as much as the next guy, but I am 100% on Team Balin, as you know.
Yeah. Well,
but
if
it turns
Sweet Anita
out
moves to Buffalo, she's fucked.
Good point. It turns out, Mike, that Sweet Anita doesn't just have these tics where she yells out swear words. She also has physical things she does. Apparently, one of her tics is spanking guys.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
I know. Check this out. This is her spanking strangers. I can think of worse things that would happen to someone. They're getting spanked.
You gotta be more careful when you bend over. I do have a spanking tick. Just watch yourself.
Wait, really?
You have no idea how many strangers I've spanked. Nice ass. Sorry. I'm not sorry. High five. Sorry. I tried so hard. Wait, how does that happen? The most embarrassing time I can remember, I was meeting my ex's parents for the first time. And we
listen to this story. She's meeting her ex's parents for the first time. Whoever her ex is, I love this guy. Okay. Because he decided he wasn't going to tell his parents that she had Tourette's. just let it play out. It's hilarious. Great bits.
Remember, I was meeting my ex's parents for the first time, and we went into a supermarket, and there was this guy leaning into the frozen section. He'd opened one of the fridges, and he was leaning in, and I just went whoosh, like full on, like rolling. Whoosh. Yeah, and he went, and he turned around like with his fists ready to go, and he looked across the eye height, saw no one, looked down at me, and was like not sure what to do about it anymore. It's like,
do I get her number? Am I mad? Should I protect myself? Do I ask her? How should I feel?
So I go a speed away like Sonic, straight into his parents who had seen me just spank a stranger's ass, and they were looking at X just like, who have you brought into the family? What the? Because we didn't tell them that I had Tourette's. Because my ex thought it would be funny on the day that we met them to not say anything about it, right?
That is funny. That's a pretty good gag right there. I like that.
He thought it, and he was correct.
Yes. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. There's another fun story here.
Raspberry red with laughter. His dad was actually crawling because he couldn't stand. He was laughing so hard. Like he actually fell to the ground.
The dad's pretty great too.
No, the other one, the fat walk, which is whenever cars stop.
Okay, yeah, listen to this. All right, so yeah, the dad thought that was hilarious, which he's right. Now, this is another thing she does. This is another one of her tics, the fat walk. So I'll explain what this is, then you can listen to it. She'll make eye contact with strangers and do the jerk off motion as she's looking at them, which is a hilarious thing.
I mean, come on.
Incredible. I mean, if the South Park guys would have came up with this, I'd be like, okay, that's a little bit too far-fetched. I mean, this is not something that happens with Tourette's. But no, apparently.
Which is whenever cars stop for me to let me cross the road, I fat walk. I make eye contact as well.
That's just my tick.
Do you love vagina?
Come on, that's amazing.
By the way, my involuntary tick is intense eye contact as I pretend to jerk myself off.
Yeah.
This lady
it's a tick
is
now.
not as a set of nuts on her if she wants us to believe her
really
ticks
does.
are gender-based. This is fucking wild.
Dude, this is the thing that Andy Kaufman never realized, is that he could just say he had Tourette's. Like that would have been like his get out of jail free card right there. Like I think the Sweet Anita is Andy Kaufmaning us all.
Yeah. I wrestle women, it's my tick.
Or not. Yeah, right. Of course I'm wrestling women. I have Tourette's. What am I supposed to do about this? By the way, I want to thank, again, from the Discord, if you want to check out our channel in the Discord, it's the Who Are These Podcasts Discord server, and we have a Who Are These Socials channel in there. You can find the link on whoarethese.com. And I want to thank Jap over, and he says, this is for when we get duped. When Carl and Mike fall for a fake video every single show.
It's outrageous. That doesn't happen in weeks.
Silly? Don't you feel stupid? Don't you feel a little ashamed? Don't you?
All right. Very good. In
That's a good
case
job.
I'm getting
I'll allow it.
duped by Sweet Anita, I wanted to get out in front of it. And
But does
play
it
that
count
for
as you getting
everybody.
duped if I call it out? I feel like we're a team here, you know?
Correct. Yes. Thank you. Also, I want to point out that if I say, maybe this isn't real, then I feel like that's a get out of jail free card right there, right? I'm admitting that I might be wrong about something.
Yeah. It's a slight tip of your hand.
Yes. All right. We got to talk about this other thing going on Barstool. A lot of Barstool talk today.
I apologize.
And
yes. I'm consumed.
no, don't apologize. Barstool's a big deal. There's a lot going on there. There's a huge audience for it. I'm not paying attention. I need you to. That's why we're a team. It's good. So there are these girls who need attention really bad.
Yeah.
And they figured out a way to get the attention that they need. Do you want to maybe set this a little bit for us?
I think when I was in college.
Sure. So the Mean Girls podcast is kind of, it seems like Barstool is pushing them to be the replacement for Call Her Daddy. Like it feels like that's what they want out of it.
Okay.
Basically. Because
I see.
It kind of took the turn of like one of her things was like, oh, my boyfriend claims he never masturbates, and they talk about blowjobs and all that type of shit. But something they've recently discovered is
so
they're
you're a
good
huge
with-
fan of the show, obviously.
Oh, it's my favorite. I listen all the time. Actually, that's the main reason I sent
Yeah,
it to
I
you.
can
Is
tell.
I think they'd be good for WATP. But what
Okay,
they've realized
cool.
they're
I'll
good
check it
at
out.
is clickbait material. Like they'll say something dumb, they'll pretend to be ditzy broads, and it gets a lot of clicks, and it gets people saying like, "Are they serious?" And they're not really. So this is the latest one that caused another girl at the company to finally call them out for their bullshit.
Okay.
I made the conscious decision to stop washing my hands. I think when I was in college.
Was it college for you?
I don't know. That's when I remember it because one of my good friends from college also doesn't wash her hands, and it was like how we had that bonding experience. One day I was like, I'm just not gonna wash them. She was like, I'm not either. I don't wash my hands.
I don't really trust people that wash their hands because, well, one, I don't think it does anything to actually wash. It doesn't do anything to actually wash them.
I do wash if I go number 2.
They didn't used to wash them back in like way back in the day when they didn't have, and you would go to the bathroom out in the outhouse. Nobody washed their hands then, and there was less diseases.
I sometimes like when my roommates home, I'll have to
Yeah,
turn the water.
definitely
There was
less
diseases back in the day, Mike?
Yeah, you're
Less
familiar with
diseases. Have they heard of the plague?
They didn't have COVID, Carl. All
What are
right.
you talking about? Okay, well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, AIDS wasn't around, so all right, there's that. All right.
Water on because I'm like I don't want them to think I'm like disgusting.
I'll like text. I'll like turn the water on and like take a text break
No,
and be
literally,
like,
I'm like, when you're at work and someone that you know goes into the stall, you're like, well, I guess I'll fake washing my hands now.
we're always in the bathroom with Kate, and I'm always like,
We also don't shower.
Okay. So, first off, I was going to say, bad news for you. I will no longer sleep with you. Until she said that she will
Yes.
wash her hands after wiping her ass.
Yeah, that's
Because-
all Carl needs.
What's weird about this is that you can't say that I don't think washing your hands does anything, as well as saying, but I will wash my hands after wiping my ass. Because obviously you think that it probably does something.
It's a ridiculous premise. What do you even mean? Your hands are cleaner and smell better when you're done. There's just evidence of it.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing, the less diseases thing, was the comment that a lot of people noticed, like we did. And that's, I think, what caused Kelly Keegs to write a blog where she was basically like, hey, enough of the dumb girl act. Like, I knew these girls before they started the podcast, and they were not like this. And now, all of a sudden, she says, and because they're getting, like, more and more successful, they're changing and becoming these caricatures of themselves.
Yeah, so I'm pulling up that article right here. By the way, also, based on that conversation, I would say these girls definitely do ATM. Just based on the fact that you don't have to wash your hands after shitting.
Yeah.
So that's,
I mean, what's to even worry
that's
about? It's
something
probably
to
good
know.
for you. It's nourishment.
So Kelly writes on, and this is the Barstool Sports blog, and she writes, "Far be it for me to the timeless trope of women hate women, officially hate the mean girls. It's all about the clicks, right? And so she goes on to explain that she thinks that they're just doing this for attention. Now, what's interesting is there's this clip on here from another show where they pretty much have the same conversation.
Right.
I'll
Yeah,
play
they were
that.
making the rounds that day.
Oh, I was gonna say that too. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done hiding it.
By the way, this is the most people talk about Buffalo girls, like Jim Norton likes to talk about fat, ugly Buffalo girls.
Yeah.
This Boston girl is the most unattractive thing I've ever heard or seen. Her accent is boner repellent. Like there isn't enough Viagra in the world to get around this accent. But all right, let's listen to this.
If you live here long enough, you know.
Oh, I was gonna say that too. I don't care. I'm done. I'm done hiding it. Also, we talked about this. Yes. Boys washing their hand, that means your dick's dirty. If you have to wash your hand after you pee, what do you get, a dirty dick?
Okay, this is actually a point that I've made in the past. I do want to say that this is correct. Like, washing your hands after peeing is not necessary.
I 100% agree with you. My girlfriend thinks I'm disgusting, but I have your back on that one, actually.
Well, ask your girlfriend if it's so gross, why is she putting it in her mouth? That's what I would say to her. It can't be that disgusting. Yeah, it's not like you're scrubbing it with soap.
You whore.
It's not like you're scrubbing it with soap beforehand, so you must know it's not that gross, but whatever. I don't have to play any more of this video. You get the point. This is like a thing that girls are doing for attention
So yeah,
now.
there's infighting at Barstool, basically. And I'm actually glad, like, I don't really know much about Kelly Keegs. I know she seems like generally not that playful, but she was 100% right. And it's like rare you see in any sort of media now people call someone out on their bullshit like that.
Right. Which is appreciated
certainly
by us over here at Who Are These Socials. Any other thoughts on this, Mike? Are you ready to move on?
No, we can move on.
Okay. I know my Wi-Fi sucks. Am I like...
I was going to say, I
totally delayed and it's all
apologize. It
fucking
seems like
up?
there's a delay of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird because I tested the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi here is actually pretty good. But as soon as we started this show, it's been sucking. I think my wife is streaming Sex and the City or something. It's fucking everything up. So I know. Remember to slap her around when we're done here. This is very fucking annoying. Okay. Let's move on because we have a recurring character here that we have to talk about.
TikTok's a psyop by the Chinese to fuck up the minds of our youth and some other people too. So let's talk quite a lot about these TikTokers we suck and know. TikTok fuck it blows.
Julia Fox is one of my least favorite people on the planet. Now, we've obviously documented a few of her shenanigans over the past few weeks.
Yeah.
The fact that she's infested with rodents and she's fine with that because they're cleaning up the crumbs. She's an insane person.
She lives in squalor, it seems like.
Yeah, right. You know, I guess she should have gotten married to Kanye so she'd have, at least a few $1 million coming in, but
right.
All right. So let's see what she's TikToking about because she is a TikToker.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's talking about this like TikTok ban and yada yada yada. And my 2 cents is that if Joe Biden approves this TikTok ban, he's going to alienate his entire voter demographic, and we all know what the consequences of that are.
I just want to say, people use the word demographic too much. I don't think they really know what it means. His entire voter demographic
Yeah.
is who he's going to
the segment of the population that votes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the voter demographic. Right. I want to point out to the chat because I see it happening right now. I'm not in Rochester right now. I'm in Florida. I'm in an Airbnb. They have Xfinity as their high-speed internet provider. I tested the Wi-Fi before we started this. It was working fine. It's not working as well now. I apologize, but this is because
I didn't say anything because I
today.
figured if the chat's not saying anything, maybe it's just my connection, but it's been pretty rough.
Ugh, I'm sorry. The good news is I'm recording this locally and we'll put it out as the audio format. It'll sound fan-fucking-tastic because you sound great,
beautiful.
Mike. Yeah, my download's going. My download speed's fine. My upload is what the problem is. But all right, let's get back to dummy over here.
So I just really hope that he's not dumb enough to go do something like that. Because I really do not want a Republican president. Because we're already on the way to Handmaid's Tale, and I just really can't deal with my
if I may, by the way, because my girlfriend watches Handmaid's
that's
Tale.
all
It is a show that is essentially women are basically enslaved. So in Julia
so that's what Republicans want to do.
Basically where we are.
The Republicans want to enslave women. Is that what you're saying? Because they got my vote. I'm not registered with either party. I'm an independent. But if they're for enslaving women, then I'm like, all right, well, I'll read a pamphlet or two.
Hey, Julia, stop the hard sell. We're in.
You had me at enslavement.
My mental health has been suffering. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Joe Biden, if you're listening, please, I beg you. Also, I just really love TikTok, and I love everybody on here, and that would be really devastating.
All right, so this is obvious.
That's a sick
yeah. No shit. This is what's crazy about it. This is why the Chinese are going to take over the world, because idiots like Julia Fox don't even understand what the actual situation is here. Like, do you not think that if TikTok went away tomorrow, wouldn't everyone just be on Instagram and everything else that does all the same
Facebook
shit?
Reels and Instagram
Would it really
Reels,
make a difference?
all that shit. But what I love is that
Right.
she goes, does he not know the consequences? Which, I mean, people gave Trump a lot of shit for that, but I feel like she's pretty much saying riot in the streets if they get rid of TikTok.
And they might. By the way, Mike, I think I pointed this out on WATP recently, that there isn't a lot of things you can do to motivate the population to actually protest and riot. Taking away TikTok is one of the things that I think would do that. I think people would lose their minds if they did it. Now,
we have our priorities straight. It's good.
Now, I listened to a show called No Agenda. I love No Agenda as a podcast, and they have a very different take on this whole TikTok thing that I just want to point out. I don't know if I buy into it, but they're very knowledgeable guys. They think it has nothing to do with Chinese spying. They think that because TikTok is getting so much ad revenue now, it's eating Google and Meta's lunch and Twitter. Like, they're not getting any of the ad revenue. It's all going over to TikTok. So that's why they're working with the government to try to get TikTok banned. So the advertisers have to spend money back with YouTube and Google and Facebook and Instagram, which is an interesting take.
But are you taking into consideration that I like TikTok? Like, have you thought about that?
All right. Maybe they're not understanding Julia Fox's angle on us. Is what the problem is.
She made some good points.
Yeah, she is making some good points right there. Holy shit. This is another Julia Fox. Somebody asked who Julia Fox is. She was in Uncut Gems. She was I don't know. She dated Kanye West for a little while. Honestly, I don't know why I know who Julia Fox is, to be honest with you.
I think Uncut Gems is the only reason. I think that's the only thing she's done.
That's the only thing she's done. That and fuck Kanye West.
In what we're about to see, she had to sign her name on something, and she penciled in retired actress as her profession.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Well,
why would she be retired? She did one movie?
She called it a career. She tipped her cap and walked away.
All right. I think I'm just going to do one episode of a podcast and be like, all right, I'm a retired podcaster now.
Yeah. She retired. They made the Derek Jeter commercial where she's walking down the street in black and white. People are like, Julia, don't go.
All right. This is another fun one.
Hey guys, any designers out there want to make me a shirt that says like high class white trash or just white trash? I used to have that as a decal on my pickup truck, high class white trash. Maybe I can find a photo. But anyway, yeah, I really need a
No, I think we got the
that
gist, Julia.
Thank you.
First off, this shirt must already exist, right? She's asking for a thing that must already exist. And how much design do you need to show the world that you're white trash? I mean, can it just be a font?
First of all, you're wrong. The bumper sticker industry has too much integrity to put their brand on a shirt. That would be ridiculous.
I think this is one of those sayings that, like, the simpler the better would work for this. Like, what do you want, a $300 shirt that says you're white trash? Well, how much design work do you need from this?
But she's acting like it's a hilarious, like, guys, I mean, get ready to laugh. Hold on to your tummies, because they're going to hurt.
I know. She's so proud of herself. And the fact she has to say, I had this bumper sticker on my pickup truck. Can you believe that, guys? I'm a girl driving around in a pickup truck. Get a load of me.
She's a girl, but she's one of the guys, you know?
Yeah, right. She's so fucking hateable. All right, so I have one more TikTok video from Julia Fox, and this might need a little bit of background. Do you want to explain the story of what happened here with her brother?
Essentially, her brother is building what they call ghost guns. So basically, he's making illegal weapons, is essentially what it boils down to. And he got caught doing so. They also found heroin in his apartment. And there were allegations. The father, Julia Fox's father, was also arrested because they believe, I don't really know. He got let go, so I'm not sure of all the details. But there was mention of the fact that he was building bombs, which I believe Julia mentions in this video.
Well, the question is if he was asking if her brother was building bombs, is what she's addressing here.
Right. Well, yeah. So I'm not sure what the allegation on the dad was specifically, but he was brought into custody and released. But the brother was into some bad shit. He was basically an illegal arms dealer and a heroin dealer, apparently.
So the question is, and this is what she's going to address, is what about the news about your brother and father making bombs? And so she's just like, oh, do I have to talk about this again? You know, one of those things just like, oh, all right, I guess I'll address this dumb drama that you guys are so concerned about.
You would think if the question is, hey, was your family making bombs? The reaction that she gives would not suggest, no, they were making guns, you idiot.
Yeah, right. All right, let's see what she says here. How does she spin this one?
Okay. My dad was released that night. It was determined that he really had no involvement and had no idea what was going on. And also, like, the media did sensationalize it a little bit. Like, he definitely was not making bombs, or, I mean, I don't know, whatever. Actually, I don't know. But I can.
That's my favorite part of the video. Like, he definitely was not making bombs, or I don't know, whatever. Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean he wasn't making bombs, or I don't know, whatever? What does that mean?
I like the phrase sensationalized it. Like, guys, we've got a real sexy story for you tonight.
Or I don't know.
Sensationalize it a little bit. Like, he definitely was not making bombs, or, I mean, I don't know, whatever. Actually, I don't know. But I can only imagine because I know my brother, and I've always known him to be like, I'm not kidding you guys, like, the sweetest, most gentle, kind, soft-spoken.
Don't judge him on his arms and drug dealing. Judge the man.
Yes. Let's talk about what a great guy he is. And
There's
this
a person
is coming
inside
from
there.
This is coming from a family member, so you can trust my judgment on this one.
Like, loves animals, loves to plant flowers, like, loves.
Mike, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Could it be true that you love animals, you love to plant flowers, and you print 3D guns? Is that like, can all those things be true? Holy shit, Mike. I have to interrupt
Yay, super chats.
everything that's going on. And thank Animal Kelly for the $50 super sticker. Thank you, Animal Kelly. That is much appreciated.
Too kind.
Let's get back to this fucking nonsense. Like, this video is doing more damage, I think, than helping, if you ask my opinion.
I like the character traits she's listing, as if you'd like, Your Honor, Your Honor, if I may present to the jury as Exhibit A, this is a photograph of my client gardening.
Yes,
I think we can open and shut this case.
Did Carl say bad things about Stuttering John's children? Carl plays guitar. I didn't even know how that's possible that he would say bad things about Stuttering John's children. He plays in an instrumental rock band. He knows all the chords.
Don't
so
you understand?
How is that even possible?
He's in a men's basketball league. He has hobbies. What aren't you getting?
Flowers, like, has a green thumb, like, loves nature and
green thumb.
But I will say that, like, you know, both my brother and I have a lot of trauma, and the difference is that I'm scrappy I'm a fighter. I, through my aggression, like was able to release a lot of that rage, whereas for Christopher, he internalized it. And
all right, listen, have I printed illegal guns? Of course I have. But look at my childhood. Can you blame me? There's a lot of trauma there. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Gardening didn't do it for you? What if I told you I had trauma?
Yeah, what else do you need to know here, sir?
you know, I can say the silver lining to this whole ordeal is that he's finally going to get the help that I've been trying to get him for so long.
Where, in prison? Why is he getting the help that he needs all of a sudden? What's that mean?
I think the sodomy is going to whip him into shape. The intervention.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I think finally.
And, you know, I wish I could say more, you know, but obviously I don't want to, like, damage his case or anything like that. But
too late.
Say that
I was watching Julia Fox's TikTok. We've got this guy dead to rights.
She goes, look, and I can't comment on this, but I'm going to make a bunch of comments on it first, and then I'll explain that I can't comment on it. Well, it's way too late for that dummy.
Good news, guys. Julia Fox just blew this case wide open.
Embarrassed.
Yeah, I can tell you're super embarrassed. You went right to TikTok and recorded a video about it. Good job.
Also, giggling like that when your brother is facing gun charges is pretty bizarre.
It's not a great look. Julia Fox is a dumb person. She's a dumb idiot.
Oh, I didn't really know who she was. I think, like, before we'd even done an episode of this show, I sent you a video of her, and you were like, oh, I hate Julia Fox. And that's what inspired me to really do a deep dive on her, and now I hate her just as much. It's fun.
I know her because of the Drew and Mike show, because they were talking about, because, you know, she was talking all about her time with Ye and dating Ye and going into detailed stories about that. So that's where I get most of my celebrity news is the Drew and Mike show. And yeah, she's hateable in every way. All right, Mike, one of the things that we do on WATS is we highlight some of our favorite musical acts and some of the greater musical artists out there.
Who are these socials?
Who are these music people?
And actually, because we're going to go to YouTube.
Who are these YouTube videos? Who are these YouTube videos? Oh.
Is any other podcast playing two stingers for a segment? I don't think so. We're the only one. We're the only ones out there doing it. You are very welcome. Okay. Trevor Bauer, phenomenal Major League Baseball pitcher. I believe he won a Cy Young award, right?
Yeah, he was very good, and he was kind of like a media dart. Like, he had a personality. People liked him a lot. And then he got into a little hot water. Was it last year or 2 years ago? I forget.
2 years ago, yeah. So Trevor Bauer, he was a pitcher for the LA Dodgers, a team that's competing for the championship. And he's a starting pitcher in a sick rotation, and the guy has got nasty stuff. And it turns out that his idea of foreplay is punching the shit out of the girl that he's banging. Like, literally beating the crap out of her to the point where he's punching her in the asshole, in the vagina, like just smashing this chick in a way that is not fun. Not the kind of smashing that Mike's doing with his girlfriend. Very different.
In his defense, they were sopping wet afterwards. So
this is what's crazy. I don't want to get into all of this, but this is what's crazy about Trevor Bauer's story is that he was suspended for, like, I don't even know, 100 games more. Something
it was like the rest of the year or something?
Yeah, it was like a year and a half of baseball. He wasn't able to play because this woman came out and said, yeah, this guy abused me. But then when you look into it, yes, he definitely abused her. I don't think there's any question about that. But she liked it and wanted more. Like, there's literally text messages of her going, when are we getting together again? Like, all this back and forth. And this happened multiple times. And then finally, I don't know what happened. She was like, hey, this is fucked up. And decided to press charges. So
Carl is literally saying she was asking for it, folks. So run with that.
She literally did. There's text messages of her saying, "When are we doing this again?" So it's literally asking for it. But
It's usually
whatever.
It's usually me defending the rapist, so I just like being on the other side for once,
Listen, I know there's a power dynamic involved. I don't want to say that Trevor Bauer is not in the wrong here. He probably is. I don't treat women the way he does, so I don't know anything about that. But it turns out that before he was one of the greatest pitchers in Major League Baseball, he was a rapper.
Yeah, we found a much more offensive crime. This is from, I think, like 11 years ago or something. And it was
this is
sent
when
to
he
me
was in
by
high school.
It was sent to me by my buddy, Box-Eating Dad, who's ever vigilant out there. And by the way, send me shit, guys. Feel free. Send it to me on Twitter or whatever you want to do. But yeah, he found this video. I didn't know. Maybe some people knew this was out there. I had no idea Trevor Bauer had a rap career.
This is insane. So I just want to point out, I don't know enough about rap to be all that critical, but the flow is brutal. This is not good flow, guys. You're not hitting it.
Yo, cigar on the mic with the one and only Wicked. We just sit here and kick it. Now here's a little look at how we grew up.
He's having fun. That's good.
Back then was a diamond in the rough. Baby, growing up miserable, my life was sure tough. I'm gold now because I shine in all I do, like a 24-karat diamond ring for your boo. But back then was a diamond in the rough. Baby, growing up invisible, my life was sure tough. I'm gold now because I shine in all I do, like a 24-karat.
All this is really missing is my name is Trevor, and I'm here to say.
Well, I want to point out that what you just heard is the chorus. That's supposed to be the earworm of this song. I couldn't repeat 3 words from what he just said. It's terrible, but okay. Now we're going to get into the verse here. Let's hear him spit some rhymes.
Beaten up in school, I was bullied, called a fool. Now I got slobber on my feet because all the females want to drool. Swooning over me, now they deem that I'm worthy. But these bees are so confused, they're crossing I's and dotting T's. Call it mean that I've been seen, laughing because they're blotting tears. No more applauding because I'm plotting your revenge on those revered. Yeah.
Okay. So trying to fit way too many syllables into lines there. Also, this idea that Trevor Bauer was bullied and beat up at school, he's one of the best athletes in all of
I think this goes to
US.
your defense.
Like, how is that possible?
This is why he takes it out on the ladies,
Oh, is that what's going on right here?
He was abused
What
as a
school
child,
is this? That they're like, let's go pick on the kid who could throw a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Let's hit that. Let's throw that kid into a locker. Oh, your curveball's unhittable? Oh, yeah? Why? You're hittable. Okay, sure.
Quick, the scouts are here. Let's embarrass
You should
yeah, right.
seal your ears and be ready to adhere to the next words you're gonna hear. Yes, my name is Trevor. We did grow up together, had no time for me back then, so the bridge I broke is severed, and I'll never cross again. So you've changed, but you would never, ever, ever in a million years be clever enough to leverage me back.
Oof. Oh, boy. I don't know where to begin
lucky
with
is he that his name rhymes with so many words? That's fun.
Oh, no. All right, so here's my question to you, Mike. Who's the worst pro athlete rapper? Now, I'll throw out a couple here that I think would be in the finals.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
And Antonio Brown. Have you ever heard
I did not
AB's
know he had a
stuff?
rap career. I didn't know that.
Oh, boy. He's got a whole lot of money. I should play that song. Maybe that'll be a future episode. We'll play some AB hip-hop. He does concerts and shit, Antonio Brown. Yeah, it's insane. Are there other examples? What other pro athletes are in the hip hop
athletes,
game?
I think Kobe did as well as Shaq. I think they were dueling rap careers around the same time.
Okay.
I feel like Ron Artest might have put something out.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
But there's a ton of actors. Actually, we might put this out because I'll be away next week. This might be the free episode of the Blind Mike Project. One of the first ever Patreon episodes that we did was not athletes, but actors that develop singing careers, like Joe Pesci, Bruce Willis.
That Joe Pesci one is so bad. Oh,
Joe
no.
Pesci's my favorite.
Yeah, that one's so bad. He loses
He does
all
multiple
street cred.
genres. He does rap. He does country. He does it all.
So bad. There's a comment under this video that's great. It says, "This makes Chet Hayes seem like a distinguished poet." That's pretty brutal right there. I'll play a little bit more of this. I checked out almost the entire song. There's a lot of funny parts. I don't know if we want to play the whole thing, but let's check out a little bit more.
Fact is that I hate this, but I put up was a diamond in the rough. Now I'm just a diamond, yeah, I'm ruffling your feathers. Better duck and soldier flying in reverse this time, and I got no sympathy for you, so just quit your crying.
Oh, God.
Trevor was a diamond in the rough, baby, growing up.
I understand you're a musician, Carl, so correct me on anything I'm wrong about.
Sure.
I understand writing too many words into a lyric, but then when you say them out loud, doesn't something trigger in your mind?
Right.
Like, hey, well, this doesn't fit, obviously.
Yeah, this isn't flowing. And I want to say that this style of rap specifically is the easiest form of music to write. You don't have to know notes.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. Just
Fat Boys.
Yeah, it's just literally like, how many syllables is this line compared to this line? It should be at least similar. It doesn't have to be exactly, but it has to be close.
Thank God I never got into this. And I will admit here, I think this is the first place I've ever talked about this publicly.
Oh.
Kids in my high school were having like rap battles and shit. And they started developing rap personas.
Oh no.
And put their music on YouTube. And I was almost convinced my buddy wanted me to like do a verse on one of his tracks or something. And I was almost like, oh, that could be cool. So my main lesson here, if I ever have a child, I will do my best to impress this upon them. Be aware of what you're putting on the internet because it never goes away.
Well, I don't know if you've gone this deep with WTP, but when I was prepubescent, I was Master K. I had a rap career myself when I was a little kid.
That's not true, is it?
I swear to God, I played one of my rap songs. My brother found one of the old tapes of me rapping, and I played it on WATP.
I have to find that.
I believe the first line in the song is, "Yo, Master K is number one. That might seem surprising to some, but it's true. That's what I did. I'm Master K. I wouldn't kid."
And now Carl hangs
It's
out
a
with
pretty
Master
good song.
KKK.
Yeah, that's why Anthony Cumia hangs out with me. Master KKK. Wow. All right. So here's another, here's some more music that I wanted to check out for you. And this comes in from Nibberuther. Nibberuther. Yep. Yeah, it's a bunch of letters put together. And this is from the Discord again. And, I always enjoy when people put out their music on social media for all of us to enjoy. Even if they're not signed to a label, you never know. This is from Jaywalk. This is Jaywalk, Bird Feathers, and Pleather.
Yeah, I'm riding through the area in a car that's made of fucking bird feathers and pleather seats. And I gotta meet the bitch who says she works at the swap meet, I think. Or so she said. I don't know where she lives, but I know that she's not alive. She's dead, and I killed her in the car accident, looking like a president in the fucking chopper.
This is what I do.
Right,
like,
this is disturbing.
This is like, I'll do this. I'll just make up gibberish and sing it around my house.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And if anyone ever, it's always when I'm alone. If even my girlfriend walked in on me, I'd be humiliated. And that's what it sounds like.
I mean the airplane Force 1.
This, by the way, this video has 554,000 views.
Oh my God.
This video is more famous than all of us combined. It's insane. All right. I want to, we got to hit one more thing before we head off today. And I apologize for my internet connection. I'm in an Airbnb in Florida. Everything was working fine. I was on Drew and Mike yesterday. It was fine. But this is why I didn't do the
you're
creep
here
off.
on vacation is what's important. You made an effort.
Hey, listen, I didn't do the creep off today because I didn't want to ruin Vinny's show. Just tell that to Vinny when we talk to him. I knew
you wanted to ruin this show.
I wanted to ruin this show instead.
All these socials.
Who are these Twitter people?
All right, this is from Twitter. Mike sent this to me. And this is how you lose your job in radio right here. This is
there's context to this if you don't mind me explaining.
Please explain this.
So this is the Greg Hill morning show on WEEI.
Yes.
I worked on the street team for WEEI years ago, and that's how basically how I got in touch with Kirk Minahan, whose show I go on, because when Kirk worked for WEEI in the mornings, he was number one. And then an activist went after him. Long story. Any fan of KMS knows it. And while he was there, I would say, I don't know if Kirk would have called this guy a friend necessarily, but like definitely his number one soldier. Like his most loyal coworker was probably this guy, Chris Curtis, the producer of the morning show. And then when Kirk got fired, Curtis had zero issue just turning his back on him. They don't talk anymore, nothing. So, when I heard this, I was gleeful because this guy, Chris Curtis, was also kind of a dick to me. So I had no issue bringing it up to my pal Dave Cullinane this morning when I went in to do the show. And while we're on air, you could hear this guy's life get ruined live on air on today's KMS. Because the only reason this clip is out there is because Dave Cullinane tweeted it and it started to pick up traction.
Oh, no shit. So he would have gotten away with
this
it, is what you're
motherfucker.
saying. Oh, no. Okay, well, that sucks. Well, I kind of feel bad for him, even though he should have known better. This is kind of on him, but...
It's a bizarre comment.
Begs the question, top 5 nips.
Oh, yes. That's a great one.
Because Dr. McGillicuddy's, I think, is number...
I'm assuming that has the same name in Rochester, but I saw this this question get asked. People are like, what are nips? I don't get it. So just so people know, it's like basically alcohol in shot form. It's the little tiny bottles.
Okay. I was not aware of that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I thought they were talking about nipples.
Yeah,
and I was going to say Hannah the review girl, Vic the review girl, Casey the former review girl.
You and Chris Curtis have similar instincts, but in different ways.
Okay.
Begs the question, top 5 nips.
Oh, yes. That's a great one.
Because Dr. McGillicuddy's, I think, is number 1 or 2. Screwball also up there.
I'd probably go Mina Kimes.
And Fireball.
Fireball.
Boy.
Like, I'm not taking it to kill.
So what you're not seeing here, Mike, and I am, sorry, humble brag, is after he made that comment, now I assume this is an Asian person he's talking about?
Yeah, so Mina Kimes is half Korean. Her mother is of Korean descent, I believe.
Okay, so after he makes this comment, he gives this smug smirk over to the guy sitting next to him, like, see what I just did? Like, he's all proud of himself. Let me back this up. This is definitely worth hearing again.
Because Dr. McGillicuddy's, I think, is number 1 or 2. Screwball also up there.
I'd probably go Mina Kimes.
And Fireball.
Fireball.
Like, I'm not taking it to
You're right about the McGillicuddy, though. But do you like the purple or the root beer?
Jesus Christ.
Begs the question.
What the fuck year is this? He thought he would get away with that on the radio.
So now here's something, Carl. A lot of places picked up on this. And like just before I started, I saw the New York Post tweeted about it and everything. And they're all citing Cullinane's tweet, which is pretty hilarious. And that's, by the way, side note, that's a lesson for you folks out there. Sometimes the people trying to cancel someone have zero morals behind it. Just keep that in mind.
That's a good point.
But I lost my train of thought. Oh, so the defense that they used, Boston Globe writer Chad Finn tweeted out that he's going to write a story about this, and he said, but the most bizarre thing that I've learned is that the corporate office, when I reached out to them, said their defense was that he meant Mila Kunis, not Mina Kimes.
No, that's not true at all, because After he said it, he looked over at his buddy. He was just like, "Hey, see what I just did?" And if he
wouldn't make
got
any
the
sense
name
if
wrong,
that's what he
no,
said.
it wouldn't make any fucking sense. First of all, and secondly, if he got the name wrong, he'd be like, "Is that right?" You know, like when you say something to like I said Mel Gibson, I'm like, "Was that right? Is that Mel Gibson?" Like you think about it for a second. Like, wait a second, is that the right thing? Yeah, that's a bold-faced lie. It's not gonna help.
So Chris Curtis has a tough day ahead of him, I imagine.
Oh boy. I'm glad I don't have a boss because I'd be getting dragged into that office all the time. Another thing I did wrong was leaving the blinds open, and now the sun is in my eyes. Whoops. Fucked that up. I'm doing everything wrong today, Mike.
Hey, you're a trooper. We appreciate you being here. At least I do.
You know who doesn't do things wrong is our listeners, and I appreciate them. They call in and they leave voicemails on the WATP voicemail line, which you can find on whoarethese.com, which is also where you can find this show, Who Are These Socials. But I have to encourage people to get our stream, our RSS feed, wherever they get their podcast from. We have our own separate RSS feed. Subscribe to that, and that way, every Friday morning when the show comes out, you will see a brand new episode of Who Are These Socials that you can listen to.
Yes.
It'll sound better than the version that we're doing right now. This is coming in from the voicemail line.
This is for WATS. Just letting you know that I will come to your house and I will shit on your porch if you don't use the Who Are These YouTube videos jingle. I was very relieved to hear that it was used again this week. Do not use the other jingle. The reason I tune into WATS is to hear, who are these YouTube videos? Who are these YouTube videos? Oh.
It is a great song. That's why I played it earlier, because I heard that.
The best jingle we have, sir. Someone else tweeted us and said that while they ride their motorcycle, they scream the song.
I love that. So basically what this voicemailer is saying is never play this.
I'll stop the show and watch YouTube.
Instead, we should... I like that one, too. Instead, we should only be playing this.
Who are these YouTube videos? Who are these YouTube videos? Oh.
Which, by the way, was created by AI. I want to point out the one that people like. So that's the one people like. They like the AI one. Yep. It's funny. All right. Here's one. Here's a voicemail from Turbo7049 calling into the show.
Hey, Carl. Turbo7049 calling about the Bailey video. I make a motion to replace the Call Me Back, Don't Call Me Back line off to fuck your little baby wiener. That's all I had, so fuck your tiny little baby wiener.
Yeah, so that's the guy who got the cameo from Balin Dupree, and he's saying that should be the new sign-off. I like it. I'll go along with that.
I feel like that's how Carl gets off now. Like Jenny Jingles has to say, fuck your little baby wiener.
Yeah. While wearing ridiculous fake eyelashes. And so she's like, why do I have to put these on again? I'm like, shut up. Just do it. Don't ask questions. All right.
What's this bottle of ranch doing here?
Put it down! Put the ranch down, Jen! All right. One more voicemail coming in.
I don't mean to be corny, but I'm taking a shit and, I eat corn. Yeah, this is for Who Are Those Socials. That is bullshit. Those girls with Tourette's. I've known guys with issues, mostly like, blinking, maybe some head movements, shoulder shrugs. I've met people with Tourette's. It isn't all swearing all the time. Secondly, yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, there's no racial slurs. There's no one calling anyone a faggot. It's only swear words that no one would get angry about. That's weird. All right, shoot.
All right, so some people are calling bullshit on the whole Tourette's girl thing.
I will email Balin Dupree and say more slurs, please. That is a gripe we all
Yes. Yeah, prove the you have Tourette's by using the N-word over and over again. That's the only way they'll prove it. Hey, Liquid Chicken, no, Mike cannot see your comment. All right?
I cannot.
That's proof. That's proof right there. I don't know what else.
What was he mean?
I don't know what else you need to know. He's just asking if you can see it. He
Oh,
can't.
okay.
I'm on top of it though.
Thank you.
All right, Mike. My wife is texting me. She's outside by the pool. She's hungry. She wants to go get dinner. I have to get back to my vacation here, I guess.
Enjoy, buddy.
Yeah,
and enjoy
dude,
Vinny next week, by the way.
Yeah, Vinny will be on. We'll be back at our regular time, Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for Who Are These Socials. Mike's on vacation next week. He doesn't have the same work ethic that I have, so he's actually not going to be on the show. But we're going to have Vinny Paulino filling in for him, which will be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to Vinny. I hope he knows how much work that you put into this prepping for the show. I hope he knows he's going to have to spend a bunch of hours finding stuff to talk about.
I'll try and send some things on my flight or something.
I haven't told him that part yet, so he's going to hate that.
Well,
Mike,
folks, go to whoarethese.com, right, for all your things WATP and WATS.
Correct. In fact, on whoarethese.com, you will find links to all the things, our Reddit, our Twitter, our Discord server, our YouTube channel, but most importantly, our Patreon and Supercast, where you can support the show financially. And we do appreciate that. We give out bonus episodes of Who Are These Podcasts, and we also just appreciate when you help out the show. And you can also support our friend Mike Geary. You can become a gearhead by going to blindmike.net, and that's where all the links are for his stuff.
Correct. Why are you laughing? There will be a bonus episode coming out on Sunday. We talked about Donald Glover's one-off stand-up special entitled Weirdo. And the next couple episodes coming up, we're doing Conan versus Leno, Impressionists, Lucille Bluth. It's a history comedy podcast. If you haven't checked it out, go do it. And Blind Mike Project and Who Are These Socials links are there as well. But most importantly, like Carl said, is the old Patreon. Carl's done a couple bonus episodes with me. So go check those out on Patreon if you'd like.
Very good. Mike, I won't see you next week.
Well, I haven't seen you any week, buddy, but see you never.
Yep.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. Whoa!
Who are these socials?
I'm the one who should apologize. Folks, what you were about to see is real.
With Carl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.
Who could have thought of that?